Social media and relationships. Let's talk about it today. This is a big topic. So social media is something where for a lot of people it's necessary for their lives. For others, it might not be the biggest thing. You can live your life separately, single, do whatever you want with your social media. As soon as you get into a relationship, though, apparently there's rules. I say apparently because I personally don't take social media as serious as some people do. My personal views, right? But this is a thing, and it's something that crushes relationships, ends relationships over small things that grow into bigger things or just actions that shouldn't be done. So today, I'm going to be educated. This is going to be fantastic. I'm going to love this. So first, we're going to start off with the introduction because we have two lovely ladies here today. So I'll allow you guys to introduce yourself. We'll start here. And then
I'm Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
I'm Raquel.
Hi, Raquel.
Hi.
All right. So these lovely ladies, I'm going to start by asking, do you guys have experiences when it comes to social media and relationships? Like in any of your relationships or anybody that you know?
All of them.
All of them.
I know people. Personally, though, no, I was in a very long relationship that I kind of recently we've kind of like fell off. But yeah, no, I haven't been in a serious relationship since. So I'd have to say no.
No.
But I know people.
You know if you have
Yes.
stories.
Yes, I have stories.
Okay,
yes.
I would like to hear.
Friends of friends.
I would like to hear. Can I hear one of these stories?
I have these two girls that I know
Okay.
that recently had issues with their boyfriends because they liked a picture of their exes.
Bang.
Oh,
And
okay.
both of those pictures were sexy-ish type pictures.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, why are you liking that picture if it's your ex?
Is that the question? Is that the
That
question
is
that
the
comes up?
question.
Is it about, okay, so is it about also what's in the picture that matters as well? Like,
I think yes.
Yeah.
If they were
Yeah?
with their kids, then obviously there's no
Wholesome.
right.
Yeah,
There's
hey,
you
I
don't
like
have to
your
ask
kids.
Okay,
anything. It's
okay.
okay. Like
But
you,
if
you share kids together.
Yeah.
Fine. Like the picture. But if she's wearing a bikini, shaking her booty,
It's like, I like your ass.
It's
Like,
a little
what
different.
message?
what if she's
Yeah.
really choreographed though? Like what if it's a
Like, what
really
do you
well
mean?
choreographed dance routine? Well, like what if it's like
Oh, that's
if it's like a
fine.
professional
like
dance
a TikTok
routine?
type.
Yeah, like what if it's something like that? Like yeah, that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
What if it's a TikTok dance? Because TikTok dances are just whatever, trends or whatever. If somebody's doing a TikTok dance and they like it and it's the guy's ex, is that a problem?
For me, exes are off limits, right?
Okay.
But that's my experience.
That's a
with
no-go
exes.
for you.
For me.
Okay.
But it also depends on the relationship with the ex. Like if they have kids, if there's like something tying them together or they have a good friendship after so many years,
Right.
it is what it is.
That's what I was about to ask. Because what if
Yeah.
they were friends? But I was about to say, what if they're friends before they got into a relationship for years,
Right.
and then they just got into a relationship,
Yeah.
realized it didn't work out, but they're still kind of close, like my family knows your family type of vibe.
And I think it depends on if she or he or she or whatever is like a big TikToker. What if they have like hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of followers and it's their thing to be dancing, on TikTok and if the ex likes it, then it's in a way it's just supporting her. She is the father of the kids if they have kids, for
Right.
example. I mean, maybe if they don't have kids, it might
That's
be a
where I
bit
was
different.
like,
It might be a bit
kids are
different.
not there. I do not
Kids
want my
are a big
partner.
factor. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess it would depend.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't want my partner liking their ex's stuff if there's no real relationship
Yeah.
there. It's
Oh, if there's like
no
nothing
point.
really connecting them
Yeah,
anymore,
but
or
it
there
also-
shouldn't be anything.
Yeah,
connecting
it
them.
also depends on how secure you are in your relationship, right? Like if my partner really made me feel good and it was
Right.
like a like isn't nothing, whatever. But a lot of times partners won't do that. Like what do you know?
It's very
Just
true.
depends on the
It's very
relationship.
true.
I think the kids is a big thing. If
Huge,
there's no
yeah.
if there are no kids involved, you shouldn't be liking your ex's dancing pictures.
But is it
Yeah.
okay? So when you have the insecurity with the social media, do you find like you take that from one relationship to the next relationship?
Yeah.
Like you'll automatically just
There's like two ways to go about it, right? There's insecurity within yourself and then insecurity within the relationship.
Right.
So if I'm super insecure within myself, that's something I got to fix, something I got to work on, and something that, I will carry in numerous relationships. But I feel like if it's just like an insecurity within the relationship, if things have happened and stuff like that.
Like if there's signs,
Yeah,
that the
like
other one
if-
might
right,
be
right,
up to
right.
something.
Yeah, if you go through
you're
their
in a
phone
new
and-
relationship
Yeah.
and he may or she may do something that's different or are the same as like an action that happened in a previous relationship, and that previous relationship, that action led to something bad.
yeah,
right?
That's
If-
triggers, right?
Will you be triggered by that? Will you just instantly be
For me, I've done the work. So like it really depends on how that person heals before the next relationship. It like for me, I would get triggered now only because of past situations that happened early on in the relationship.
Okay.
So it's within the relationship normally, not because like my ex did something stupid and now I'm blaming it on me,
So you speak about past situations. Can you
in the relationship?
Do you have any examples of it?
Like I went through my ex's phone once, and they were like they had DMs with this porn star. Okay.
Wow.
Right? Just right off the bat. It's like, okay, even if they were talking about...
Congratulations. Wow. Congratulations to you.
It's because she was posting her music and her porn videos,
crazy.
which is great. I'm like, good for you. That's great. But like, why continue the conversation if it's like, why are you guys talking about Euphoria? Why are you talking about your families? Why are you talking about stuff that does not...
in-depth conversations.
Yeah. And then she was like, oh, I just like conversation. And I'm like, with porn stars?
Right.
Just like, you know...
Did he like her pictures?
All the time.
Oh.
Did it bother you that the porn star thing bother you?
Absolutely.
Because you felt that was instantly going to be sexual?
Wasn't,
were the conversations sexual or were the conversations
so that's the thing. That's why I kind of not allowed it, but I set my boundaries. But at the same time, I was like, hey, like, I feel uncomfortable just because just her entire persona is sex, you know?
Okay.
She's playing your music in her porn videos, and that's cool.
Right.
But for me, it was just like, at least if you're not going to stop doing certain things, explain to me why. Explain to me, like, in a respectful manner, why that's not the case. But it just blew up, obviously.
That didn't work out?
Didn't work out.
Did that end up, like, resulting in the breakup?
No.
We
dated for a year and a half after.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is that the most current one that you're talking about? Yeah. Okay. So that ended.
Yeah.
That's done now?
This morning, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this morning.
Wait, this morning?
So, whoa, fresh out the wrapper. We got an exclusive here, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah.
Was it social media that caused the end of it?
Honestly,
pretty much?
I feel like
smaller
majority,
things turn into bigger things,
just
right?
Like, that's exactly what it was. But the thing is, like, even in my past relationships, social media was huge too. But again, that could have been for me, you know? Like I could have going through the phones, like you see. There's things that you find on there, and yeah.
So when you get into relationships, both of you, this is for both of you, do you establish, like, I know it's a weird conversation to be like, this is what you should do when we're on social media.
But I actually think that's important, though.
It's
I think
super
that's so important because when you go into it, you're trying to understand someone. Like, at the end of the day, a relationship is two completely different people, different views, different opinions, different upbringings coming together. So it's actually important to talk about it, but I don't think many people do, which is why it results in situations like that. And then you're too far in with the attachment, and then you're just toxic for the rest of it, you know?
I think it depends on what the posts are all about. Like, what if the posts are mainly related to your business? You're an entrepreneur, and that's what you're posting about. Like, you know what I mean? It depends on the type of vibe that's going on.
And the respect for their partner, too.
And yeah, I don't know. I can't really like relate to it just because, again, like I just broke up from a long relationship and I haven't really dated anyone since that I've had to have that issue with or conversation with. But I'm definitely not attracted to a guy that's all up into being up in the camera too much. Like when it's a little too extra, it's a turnoff for me.
So would you get involved with somebody who you knew that was like, that's what they did for a living?
Again, it goes back to depends on what they're there for.
What they're there, where?
Like, I don't know, like on social media.
Oh, okay.
You know
like
what I mean? Like there's so many
are?
reasons why someone's on social media, right?
I mean, there's small amount of jobs, so I'm not going to make it seem like it's a regular thing, but there are a small amount of jobs where you have to maintain a certain persona to elevate. Like for a long time, if you were in music, you had to maintain the persona that you were single.
For sure.
Right? That's something I don't know if that's faded, if that's still the case, because I see a lot of people dating now. But who knows? PR, who knows?
Yeah.
You know, but it used to be one of those things. Like, but there's not a lot of those jobs. I feel like if you know you're about to get into a relationship, right? There's a few conversations that need to be had. If you're getting into a relationship.
Healthy ones.
Right. Yeah. If you're getting into a relationship. Yeah. If you're dating though, there has to be a little bit of a hold off, I think, on that before a relationship's established.
For sure. Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
To the point where you shouldn't even be snooping. None of that should be in your thought process.
I agree.
But we live in 2023 now.
When there are signs, then you can start to have
we live
that
in
conversation.
2023, and that's exactly what I was about to say. Because we go back to when I brought up, things that may have happened in past relationships that led to bad situations that involve social media. So now you're in this new situation, or you're out on a date with some guy, or something happens and he does something, or he's on his phone too much, or you know what I mean? He's not engaged as it is. And you're saying, oh, you know what? This is what happened last time. I'm done.
Yeah.
And a lot of women won't give time to give the explanation as to why. They'll just be like, no, I can see these traits. I see where this is going.
That's
and
trauma.
And it kind of assumes, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens, right? So in those cases, like, I feel like, and it's hard for me too. It's hard for me because a lot of times when you say these things, it's negative towards the other person. It's not going to be a positive, because this may be something they're accustomed to. But I feel like these conversations are important to have off bat.
And both of them have to be receptive to it. Because like I've tried having conversations like that, and they're just like, oh, you're insecure, and like, but that's a defensive thing, right? It's like, okay, well, I mean.
Well, with that being said, what do you do if there's something where like you have the no exes thing, right? What if there's somebody that you've been dating for a while, you guys are real comfortable, it's a good situation, you decide you're going to be a little bit more serious, and they don't see the ex thing as seriously. They're like, if you do that, I don't really care. I don't really care if you like your exes and stuff like that. How do you come to an agreement with something that's so major to both? Or do you just, I can't?
That's compromise, right? Like, if you really care about that person. For me, like, so one of my exes had ties with their ex because of marriage.
Okay.
Right? So not necessarily, like, the ex just didn't want to divorce them. But they weren't in talking terms. But sometimes she would have to message for tax purposes or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, trust me, it was
all right.
It was weird.
I don't understand
taxes. But my ex's
but
thing was off limit. Like I said, exes are off limits. But for that person, I was like, okay, I do have to understand the situation here.
Right.
It is what it is. But that's a very rare situation, you know? So
it does.
It's different.
I mean, even in rare situations, I feel like even in relationships when it happens rarely, it's still used in future in future situations as well. You know what I mean? Up. I have those experiences too, where something's happened in the past, something may happen, or the girl may act this way or say this way, and I'll just be like, I don't.
We're just used to that, right? We're wired that way. Yeah.
You go back to that time, and it's like you're reliving that moment, right?
Yeah.
But people don't realize that really is because of social media allows for so many negative things, especially when it comes to relationships. And I mean, there's ways to have social media and have boundaries and be in relationships, but honestly, the easiest way is to just not have social media, right? Yeah. But I mean,
realistically,
thing of the time.
Can that happen?
Yeah.
Right.
It's a thing of the times. Back in the days,
can that happen? Is a thing.
I had healthier relationships.
Unless we didn't have internet. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Or they shut down TikTok, or they shut down Instagram. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be there. Back in the days, you only dated who you actually met. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like now you have a world of options.
You have a world.
Like, right? And that's the problem. It's for a lot of people, it's hard to, stay focused, I guess you could say.
That's perfect. That's perfect segue. Perfect segue to where I'm going with this. Because I have a few things that like I feel are the main things involving social media that ruin relationships. And some of them are obvious, some of them are a little bit more subconscious, and one of them starts exactly with that. Before, if you wanted to go out, you wanted to find a significant other, you have to go out to a club or a party, you have to do this, do that. Now, you can literally just DM people.
Correct. So much easier to cheat.
The access is so much
limitless.
Is so much heavier, and the more platforms you're on, the more access you're on, right? And you know what? This is crazy, but there's a lot of people coming from the generation that have social media that didn't always have it.
Was just gonna say that, yeah.
Right?
So for me, I didn't grow up on social media.
Right.
So for me, it is almost a little bit more personal when I see things like liking or whatever.
Right.
But like I have friends that are years younger who always knew about social media. And they're like, Nicole, a like is nothing.
It's not that big of a deal.
Fine, but like, goddamn.
Really? For the younger generation, that's what it is? I don't know.
Yeah, well, like my friends that I
it makes sense. No, it makes sense.
Because they're used to that and I guess a bit more desensitized to it. Whereas for me, again, the human connection was a lot more important. So, but now human connection isn't a like and a share or like a comment, So it's very different.
I know a lot of guys who, if they like a girl, one thing they'll do is they'll go on their social media and just like a bunch of their pictures.
Oh, every story I'm liking. If I'm interested, I'll
I've had that happen.
Be all up in your business and all that type of stuff.
All of a sudden, liking all the pictures, like, okay.
And you feel like you know that person.
Like,
Yeah. Way back. I don't care.
Just everything. I like all of you.
1 year ago, I'm all up in there. Like, double like, I'm commenting.
But it's
ooh, this is nice.
It's funny how sometimes they be liking like the family, like me with my kids or me with my mom. Like, you know, they're trying to be respectful and you can read that. You know what I mean? Like, they're not liking my sexy pictures. They're liking my, you know.
Yeah, no, that's...
Do you know what I mean?
They're like, I'm different.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
That's a game. I just want you to know
that. Really
that. I've played that game. It's a fantastic game to play.
It works, though.
It works.
I'm not
okay, so that's what I was about to say. There's a little tidbit for today. There's a little thing. Instead of liking all the sexy pictures, don't like the things that are related to the girl, her likes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Things that she's passionate about.
Right.
Make comments about that, and maybe, you know, that'll work out a little bit better.
Interesting. Good to know.
Yeah. Another thing that I feel like social media does is, like I said, generation before social media, we had to interact. We had to do it in person. We were used to not having as many distractions around, right? So what social media does is you could be in the room with the same person, with the person that and both of you are on your cell phones. Or what's crazy now is somebody could be upstairs and somebody's downstairs in the house, and instead of going upstairs, they'll text, yo, can you just bring me this? Can you bring me that? Slowly but surely, we don't even realize that we don't know how to interact.
We're not communicating as much as we used to.
It's not even that we're not. We just forgot. When you don't put things into practice, when you don't do, no matter what it is, when you don't put things into practice, that's when you're going to start losing it, even if it's something that you should be able to naturally do, right?
Like I was saying, human connection is so like frayed now because
so frayed.
It's like even a text message. Like, yeah, I can be on the phone 24/7 with you, but it's like the communication is still, it's not the same as like seeing you in person or making the effort to actually go talk to you. Versus just hitting you up with like a like.
Or even like talking on the phone.
Yeah.
So do you think that when it comes to, do you think there should be boundaries as to when you're allowed to use your cell phone? Like, do you think that those are rules that need to be established when you're in a relationship? Like when I can and when I can't, when I can't be on, when I can and can't be on the phone, or just
I don't.
What do you mean can and can't be on the phone?
Like, okay, like if we're together on the couch, I don't want you to be on your phone ever.
I think if it becomes an issue, then we can talk about it.
Yeah, it's an issue. So let's talk about it. It's becoming an issue.
We're making it an issue.
It's becoming an issue between you and I.
Then
let's talk about it.
If I'm trying to sit there and watch a movie with you because it's Netflix and chill, and you're on your phone, like I'm gonna be like, whoa, get off your phone. Like we're here together.
Right, and I'm just like, hold on a second. Just,
oh my God, you look like my ex right now.
Just hold on.
For real. That's
What are you doing?
Well, that's when the relationship starts to fall apart, because if it keeps happening, the girl, I'm talking for myself, obviously, for us, we're going to get sick of it.
Slowly
and then what happens after that? You know.
Right.
Starts to happen after that. It takes time, because that's how us females are. Like, you don't just do it one day to the next, for the most part. It takes time. It takes time of bitching and calling you out and being like, listen, like, change.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen, there's a problem.
So how deep does it get in the social media rabbit hole for both of you guys? I mean, like what is considered okay for social media practices? What is considered totally off limits? I'm kind of curious as to what the list is. Let's start with what's okay. What's okay to do in a relationship for you?
Like, I mean, just respect for me. Like, if you're just considering me, and like, even if you were to like an ex's picture, you know, for example, but you know it bothers me, just be like, hey, like, I just want to support her. Like, this is what it is. But I promise you that it's not anything past that. Like, I really love, just like some reassurance. But at the end of the day, that's all it comes down to. Like, that's
all it is, as long as there's a respect level for you?
Yeah, but I also don't want to see, like, their name under every single fucking, like, half naked. You know, like, it's just, I don't know. I like my people to be about me. So, like, I don't, that's all it is.
Okay.
Liking an ex's pictures, like, okay, so let's spin it around here for you guys.
What about liking a random girl's picture?
For what, though? What's the intention?
Yeah, is she like a model?
She looks good in the picture. She looks good in the picture.
That's a bit of a problem.
But for what is the intention, though? Like, if you're, because you can be attracted to someone, right? But what you do about it matters. So, like, what's the intention with
Yeah,
liking
why
that
are you
picture.
showing people that you like?
Exactly.
Like, what's your point?
Me personally, I've seen pictures of females, and they look good in the picture, and I'll double
Okay,
tap
so
it.
what are you trying to get out of that?
What's your
Yeah.
There's no intention
with
behind it. It's literally you just.
Do you want her
it's a
to
great
know that you
picture.
liked, or do you want people
No,
to know?
okay. Well, obviously, if I double tap it,
people
she's
are
gonna
gonna
know. But
know.
like, what?
Exactly. That's
She's gonna
like,
know, but like my intention, I'm not sitting there thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. She's gonna respond to me because I don't have the mindset that the world revolves around me. I guess that's the difference that I have
fair.
with a lot of
That's
other
fair.
people. A lot of people probably do have that mentality that the world revolves around them.
I think also from a woman's perspective, when people are in our likes, they're usually in the DM. So our
Right.
experience is like, okay, this is what we see from men all the time. So we're projecting that, obviously.
There you go again.
So like, when girls like your pictures and stuff, like,
Right.
are they usually in your DMs?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's there's some people that are just consistent. We're just friends, and they'll just
And
like
that's fair.
it consistently.
That's
Yeah, okay.
And
You
then
can tell who those
there are
people
people
are.
who like
Exactly,
every now and
exactly.
then, like, okay, I was in a relationship, and there was this post that I made, and the sign said, shout out to that one follower who likes every one of my pics.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the time, me, my girlfriend, we were working in the same place as this one girl who not only liked the picture, but said, "Hey, hi there, thank you so much." It was like a comment like that, but like responding like I'm that one follower. So I thought it was funny. So I brought it to my girl. I was just like, yo, look at this. Look at what she commented. She was pissed.
Fair.
She was
you?
upset. She's just, I don't, listen, if you want to know what it felt like, it felt like she was mad at me. Like I did something wrong. If you want to know what it felt like I did something wrong. Okay?
I mean, she could have been mad at the girl. I'm just saying. You
I
know what I mean?
definitely was
general,
cooking.
yeah.
I was definitely cooking that night.
Okay.
At least you
But she also was mortal enemies with that girl from that point on.
From that point on.
From that
I
point
was
on.
like, how are
Not
you going to
before.
show that to
Did
her?
she know her?
Before.
No.
Yeah,
she
she also
did.
worked with us. She also worked with us.
Well, then
yeah.
more of a reason for her to be mad, maybe?
I mean,
Unless, was there something like
I thought it was
flirty
funny.
or anything between you guys prior to?
and this is the bad part about me. And I know you're not going to believe this because I feel like I always have one of these. This is what you got to realize. I am so bad at picking up when girls are actually flirting with me or whether they're just being nice.
I
And
know.
that's because
That's fair.
I know.
And that's because
It's
I was
true.
been around so many females from when I was younger,
Fair.
right?
Yeah.
I had so many females, so I don't know the difference between unless it's aggressive and obvious.
And I think
Yeah.
I'm not
yeah.
stupid, but if a girl leaves a comment on one of my posts, and I thought that was funny, like I didn't think she was flirting. I didn't think nothing of it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to go into this. I don't want to go into this story
I feel that.
anymore.
That was me
I don't
earlier.
wanna
I
go
was
into
like,
this
damn,
story.
should I be saying this?
I'm just gonna move on.
It's
So
funny how guys take that the wrong way more than girls do as far as like being friendly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
okay, so when does it go? But when does it go too far? Because another thing that social media allows is easy access to your exes. Because before, when you broke up with a person, if you weren't connected by family or anything like that, you would never see them again. They lived there. You probably never met them before in life.
Exactly.
You'd never see them again.
No.
But now, I could just put your name in a search bar
Crazy.
and boom, follow. And if you accept, when that person accepts, I'll tell you from the mentality of a guy, if a guy goes to follow one of his exes and she accepts, his mindset is that, oh yeah, she's still
There's a
feeling
chance.
me.
There's a chance.
She's still feeling me, da 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 da. Even if his intentions are not to get back with that girl. He still has that little ego boost. Yeah, da, 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 da. So ladies out there, if you don't want your exes to feel that way, don't
But then,
accept the follow.
what if she doesn't follow back?
If she doesn't follow back, then it's a clear. I mean, there's some guys who are aggressive. Okay, so I know where you're going with
doing
this.
I'm just saying.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing here. I see where you're going with it. There are some guys who are very aggressive and will still try to DM
Right.
and create fake accounts and do all that other stuff. But those are once again, clear signals to stay away from these guys. Hopefully you're in a situation where we're not able to find out where you live or whatever and all the type of things. But most guys, if you don't follow them back, are just going to be like, all right, whatever.
Leave it at that.
It is what it is. It's not going to be a big deal. Like, I don't see why you're going to make it. At that point, I don't know how long you've been broken up for, but you should get over it.
Following you back
This
is
isn't
what
some
it is.
advice. Just get over it. It's not really worth it. It's not really worth it at all. So, like, the connection to your exes and the simple things is I feel like the biggest thing that like breaks up couples. It's the exes.
Yeah.
So where do we draw the line on the exes thing? Can I follow an ex?
I don't have a line. They're not in the
There's
picture.
nothing. I can't. You don't want nothing on social media.
Why the hell do you want to keep update with your ex?
Okay.
Like, again, depending on the situation.
I think for me, it goes back to the kids.
Yeah, if there's kids and stuff like that.
Right. So certain situations are cool.
But even for me, like my baby dad, like he doesn't follow. We don't follow each other.
Right.
But I do have like a kid account, like with me and my daughter.
Right.
So like follows that. But my personal. It's like we don't have ties.
There's
like,
no reason.
Why do you need to know about me and my life? Like it is what it is. I post separately because there's a lot of weirdos on the internet too. So
so you wouldn't accept the we broke up on good terms. There's nothing really
again,
bad about
it's like what do you want to keep there though? You know, like if it's like if you want to keep up like tabs on your ex,
right?
I don't really.
Yeah, there's no unless you have kids. There's no reason.
Yeah.
There's really no reason.
There's really no
I mean, you make a good point.
Or maybe you share things like how you were saying.
I can't. I'm sitting. I can't think of one. I've been trying to think of one the entire time, and I can't.
Unless you share things together, like maybe a business, or you know what I mean, like property, like how you were saying your friend, right?
Yeah.
But the ex is the ex for the reason, for a reason,
right?
1,000%.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's another thing that I feel is a problem now. I feel like people are too obsessed with having to share everything in their lives.
Yes. That's
I actually struggle
with that.
I feel like that's a problem in relationships
annoying.
as well.
Yeah.
I just want to put this out there. If I take you out on a date and we're going to a nice place and we're going and it's expensive, and we're getting some food to eat and the food's expensive and the drinks are expensive.
Don't tell nobody.
I want to eat. I personally would like to eat my food warm. So I don't have time for you to be taking pictures and setting filters
pictures?
and placing this over here. And can you move
No, I'm
your
not that
fork
person.
here? What?
No.
I don't have all that kind of time.
Food too.
Sometimes it gets a little bit carried away,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you're out on dates with guys, what is the limit for the cell phone usage on dates? I gotta know this.
I'm not really I wouldn't be on the cell phone on a date. When you're just dating, it shouldn't really be a thing. Unless you have to communicate with someone for whatever reason, but like...
Are you talking first date, second date, third date?
Again,
no dates?
dates?
No dates?
First dates, definitely not.
No.
But then over time, obviously, if you get comfortable with each other, you know what I mean? You have to respond to texts or whatever, but like, you can't sit there and be on your phone. That's just rude.
What if I want to share this moment? I want to share it with the world. Later. So I just want to, I got to take a picture and I'm going to think of a nice little caption. I want to show you. I want to make sure you're good. What about those situations? Is that
how fresh is it? Like how fresh is the date?
Like what if we're on a first date? I went to this place and we went to Planet Bowl, and you know what? Planet Bowl has glow in the dark bowling, and this is really cool. And I want to.
And you want to show the person?
I
just want
to show the person. I want to show
That's
the world.
weird.
I want to show the world, girl. I want to show the world. I want the world to know. I want the world to know.
Who does it? People do that?
What?
Oh yeah.
First date?
Stop this. Stop
like
this.
the person?
Stop.
I had a first date where he introduced me to like all of his friends and family.
But did he?
But I didn't even know.
That's aggressive.
It was really aggressive.
But did he share you on social media? That's just weird.
Social media, no, but
that's what I mean.
I met all the close people. Yeah, that's fair.
When it comes to yeah. I got a question. Yo. Turn the mic where?
How long before you can show your significant other on social media?
That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
That's and honestly, I see it being a problem right now with people. Mm-hmm. That's another problem.
That is a huge problem.
Because like I have a friend who's been with someone for almost 2 years now, and he still doesn't want to be shown. Mm-hmm. And I could tell she's bothered by it. Like, why? I know another couple, they broke up because eventually she got annoyed that he would never show her, and they broke up at the end of it. So yeah, it's a problem.
Like I was in a relationship where in the beginning of it, always posting me, like always showing me off. And then towards the end, they just stopped.
Changing the pattern.
Yeah. So I was like,
that's a no-go.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's a no-go.
But yeah.
So when it comes to those type of situations, right? Do you feel like the other person should kind of establish? Like I said, it's hard because there's no real rules when it comes to this thing, right? Mm. So when it comes to these stipulations for you and the liking of the ex and the posting of the ex and stuff like that, do you feel like if somebody is obsessed where they have to post everything, like that's the life I've been living, right? That's where I've come from. I'm used to just posting everything. I'm used to doing this type of thing. Do you feel like if you care about the person, it should be an easy compromise to just break a habit like that? Because social media is pretty addictive.
It is.
But do you think it should just be a natural, easy,
Yes,
you don't
because
want
if you
this,
care
so I'm not
about each
gonna-
other and respect each other, then it's not going to be a problem.
And I think it depends
Naturally.
on both of you. Because like for me, I do like taking pictures. I do
Right.
like if I would absolutely take pictures of the glow in the dark stuff. You know,
Right.
Like, I absolutely would. So to me, it wouldn't be like a make or break as long as we're still maintaining intimacy during the date. You know, so it's like as long as you're still paying attention and not on your phone every 2 seconds. Like I've been on dates where they don't touch their phone at all. Like I do not see their phone whatsoever. And I've been on other dates where they're just like constantly like checking it. And I'm like, are you good?
Like, are you
I'm
paying
right
attention?
here.
That's what I'm saying.
So it just
That's a flag.
It absolutely was.
Right?
I should have listened,
really
but
is.
I guess not.
How important is for it to be posted, like when you're dating somebody? How important is that for
I
you
think
for you to be posted on their pages?
it shows a lot.
It does show a lot.
Like when somebody finally takes that leap to be like, this is my girl, this is my guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's a big leap to take, and that shows a lot. And that's why I think it's a problem right now for people, because
But I mean, a lot of people could do that, post that, and then they
But,
still
like,
go
it's a
out and do the
problem for the
same
ones-
shit that they were doing before, right?
Yeah,
So like that could also be used as a ploy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post you, make you feel a little bit more comfortable, and then I go out and do my damn thing. So
I know
mean,
so many
it's
people
it's
like
it's
that.
there's it's a kind of a double-edged sword. You take
yeah,
one
because people use it as a game
that's the thing. There's a lot, and
sometimes.
but that's the world that we're living in has social media as a game. A lot of people don't see it
Oh
as a
my
serious
God.
thing.
For real.
You got to think about it. All the billions of people that use social media, there's probably a 1% that actually use that to make some kind of money.
Definitely.
Right? Like it seems like everybody on there is making money because those are the ones with the followers and there's the one getting pushed in our faces and all that stuff. So it seems like everybody on Instagram and everybody on TikTok is making money, but majority of those people are not out there making money. So when you see this and you're living it, you're almost comparing yourself to them, right? The comparisons is where it gets a little bit more sketchy too, because now if they're in a relationship, now you're looking at their relationship. This person doesn't do this, they understand that. You're bringing it back to yours, but the situations are different, right? So I say that to say this: when in relationships for yourselves, and it comes to how long do you have to be in a relationship to the point where these things are a serious? Don't do this. Do that. Don't do this.
The hard thing about that is I don't think it should ever come to that point. I think if it wasn't really aligning and I had to force someone to post me because I want to feel like I'm showing
Right.
off, I would just want someone who wants to do it for me, you know? So it's kind of just like,
I mean, yeah.
that would be the hard part for me. Like,
What if it was just like that's not my thing? It's not my thing really to post my private. It's
I've
not my
heard
private.
that.
It's too private. It's too
Yeah.
private. I'd rather.
And
And
I've
I
heard
just
that
feel
too.
like, I have heard that.
Because
but
I don't really
personally-
post my family really.
Yeah,
too
I don't really
tough.
post my
Yeah.
daughters too much
Yeah.
either.
Right? I don't
That's
really
true.
post my family too
Yeah.
tough on there. So if I don't post my family, why would you expect me to post you? That's
fair.
just like
I've actually
another
heard that
thing
exact
too, right?
same
I
thing.
agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you would have to gauge that in the
Yeah.
relationship. Like, you can't be dumb in a relationship too, right? You have to be able to read the person and know what their
Yeah.
intentions are,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If that's what they're saying, then you would probably feel that they're speaking the truth.
They're genuine or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'd have to kind of be in that situation to gauge it. I don't know.
I think the biggest thing that's being established here is just a level of respect. Like you can't be stupid about it, right?
Right.
Like, there's just an understanding that
Exactly.
like if you feel guilty about doing it, it's wrong. I mean, that's the easiest way to figure it out.
Yeah.
But if you do it and you find out that it does something bad, I am confused as to why a lot of people will still do the same thing. And I'm talking
That's
about
exactly what it
people in
is.
relationships
Yeah.
too. Right? A lot of times it's almost like it's an addiction, right? Like this addiction. And I spoke about this on a previous episode. When you're a guy, you got to think about this. And this is a horrible example, but it's a reality of the world, unfortunately, now. You got to think about a guy who's not used to getting a lot of girls. Right?
Right.
So I'm not used to getting a lot of girls. One, I don't make a lot of money. So it's not really those big situations, right? But what I can do is I can portray something on social media. Also, what I can do on social media is I can get access to way more people that don't really know me in real life and this and this and this and this and that, right? So when it comes to me trying to find an actual relationship or get into somebody that I actually know, because I'm so used to how easy it is to get this access, it's hard for me to get away from the addiction that comes with finding new people on social media. Because for a lot of guys, the finding of a new girl on social media is just like a drug. It's like,
And it's easier for
It's a drug.
easier for them.
it's a drug.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
it's easy.
And it's so easy for them
Right.
that it's almost like the insta fame. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's almost like something that I need to attain now. I have to keep getting it. I have to keep trying to get it. Which is why I feel like a lot of guys will get in relationships and they'll still be doing
Right.
the snaky little things. It's almost like an addiction sets in. Now, do you guys believe in social media detoxes? Have you guys done social media detoxes before?
Like just shutting it all down.
Yeah, like literally. Well, some people will go as far as just deleting everything. Some people will just suspend their
don't go on
accounts.
it.
And some
Yeah.
people are strong enough to have the app still on their phone and not go on it. I'm not one of them. I have to delete everything.
Yeah.
I have to delete everything. Are you guys about social media detoxes?
Go ahead.
I've done it just because sometimes it is a lot. Just even like comparing yourself to people on the internet and
Right.
just seeing like all the things that people have, but it's just a highlight reel, right? So sometimes you got to just really take a step back and say, this is not reality, but
Right.
we spend so much time on it. So we create our reality with that.
Desensitized at this
Yeah,
point.
we
Believe
absolutely
whatever you
are.
see.
Yeah. So it is important, I think, sometimes to just take a break from that and just step into what we're actually here for, just to
Right.
like live and like human connection and talking to people.
So when
and
you
stuff.
detox, normally, how long is the detox for? Like, how long are you off for? How long? Like, what's the longest you've been off social media?
like 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah.
Okay. And for you?
I've never detoxed. I don't feel it's necessary. I'm personally, I believe in everything in moderation. I don't get addicted to things.
Right.
And I stop myself if I feel like I'm doing something too much. So I just won't go on.
You're strong, girl.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. You don't
I'm
ever.
an-
You
I'm
don't.
an-
So you don't
Yeah.
ever find yourself comparing.
What do you mean comparing? Oh,
Like
comparing
what
to
you
other.
see, like when you're on social media and you're scrolling through your timelines, and this person has this and this person has that. And there
No,
are things that
I
you
think I'm
possibly
pretty
want to
confident in
attain.
myself that I don't really do that.
That's a
Yeah.
strong. That's a strong statement. Because
Yeah,
I could tell
that
you
is.
sitting here right now that even myself, when I go on, sometimes I look and I say, "Oh, this person's about the same age as me, or they're younger than
that's
me,"
exactly what it is.
which is even
It
worse.
it crosses my mind, but I mean, I'm happy for them. Like, I don't compare myself to them. You know what I mean?
You're
I don't know.
strong,
Like,
girl. I'm telling you that right now.
I don't know. I try to, be straight about it and just not, again, like I try not to be addicted to things too much because it's too much of anything is not good. That's my whole
And
thing.
I think that's the key, though. I
Yeah.
think that's why you don't let it get to you, because you don't take it all the time, right?
Right.
For me, I'm on TikTok for like
Yeah, in this
No.
day of
So
age, in this day and
long.
age of I don't have to
Yeah.
wait through the commercial breaks for my
Yeah.
TV show
Right.
anymore. I can just get whatever I want to see on Netflix or
Mm-hmm.
any streaming service. It's hard for people to take that time that you're talking about. You
Yeah.
know, be patient, all that, and not have the gut reaction to I need to get this approval right away
Yeah.
is really what it's about. Because at the end of the day, that's what social media is really about. I need to get this approval of what I'm doing or what's happening now from other people.
yeah.
Because there would really be no reason to post. If nobody's
Right.
liking your pictures, I know tons of people that if they post something, they don't get a certain amount of likes or a certain amount of this in a certain time, it's gone.
Yeah,
It's
there's
deleted.
a lot of people like that.
It's deleted. Like
Yeah.
it didn't even happen. Like it's not part of. It's no longer part of my
It's
life
not
because
worth
you don't
it.
like it.
Yeah.
Because you don't like it, and I feel like that's ridiculous. I
It
feel like
is.
that's a little bit too far, but it's actually more common.
I find it interesting. I'm interested in the science behind it.
behind
Behind why I got so many likes on this one picture. I'm just kind of like, why?
because a lot of people.
It's not that I care that I did or not. I'm just like, why?
just I feel like in life people are so used to getting shit on and pounded and having to work super hard and life is stressful that when they are able to go on social media and post something that makes their life seem totally different and get the gratification for it, it gives them a little bit it's like
Right.
it's like
Yeah.
that little quick high.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And the first time that you get it, the first time that you get that really good high, and what that really good high I mean is like a viral video. The first time you get that, now you're chasing that again.
Yeah.
Now it's a different type of
Yeah.
addiction. Now you got to be on it all the time. Now it's this and this and that, this and that. And it doesn't matter. And I feel like these type of things are the things I draw away from a lot of relationships. Like people put so much importance on social media, even if they're not making money from it, which is very destructive, right? So if you're in a relationship, there's a few things that I feel like there's ways, like you said, like we've already discussed a lot of them, but I want to narrow down on some of the things so that people can understand if you are in a relationship. Social media is currently the destructive thing that is happening. You can see it. You can feel it. I know you know who you are. I don't got to point it out. You can feel it, right? This is some of the things that you can try to do. First of all, we talked about it. Have a discussion. Agree to some just ground rules off bat. Like, and this is what, like I said, when you're getting into the relationship and you both brought up rules for yourselves, Now, if you have rules, I want to be super clear. If it's something that you hold strong, a strong belief, do not compromise. Never, ever compromise on anything that you have a strong belief on, because it will still bother you down the road. Even though you say it won't, it's still going to bother you. And it's also compromising who you are.
Betraying yourself.
Yeah. So like Nicole said, she is no exes, no ex. So if you even follow anything, you understand what you're doing, right? So stay away from that. If you're not about that, then guess what? It's the wrong person for you. I don't understand why people can't just move on. They want to compromise a lot of times. I feel like a lot of relationships start like that, and then it gets to the bad part, right?
I think that usually starts when two people don't really know themselves and don't know how to set those boundaries.
That's true.
So they kind of just get into that mess, and then like as they go, they start learning themselves and what they like and what they don't like, and that's how
They might not vocalize it though.
Exactly.
They might not.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared to say. Don't like. You have to understand that when you're in a relationship with somebody else, you can say dumb shit. Like they're not. Nobody's gonna break up with you for saying. Well,
you'd be surprised.
I mean, if it's a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah.
Depends how much.
Depends on how much. Depends on how much dumb shit.
And how dumb it is.
Now, nobody realistically is. If you just say a few dumb things or things that they don't agree with, are gonna break up with you, right? You can have a discussion about it. It's about what you're willing to compromise. Pick and choose your battles. Also, understand that even though what you're taping may be a private moment, once you put it on social media, it's now public territory. That means people not only can like it, they can hate it too. And I feel like we've become so
In the
accustomed
comments.
to.
Oh yeah, people are mean on. Oh my god. Sometimes
Listen.
like.
Should there be a dislike button? Click. I thought about that.
There definitely should be a dislike button,
think
because
so?
there's some videos out there that are horrible, and
should
the
be
world should
disliked?
definitely know about it. Yeah, the world should know about
But
it.
I think the world would be more negative if that
It's
was
an
the case.
opinionated. It's an opinionated thing whether you like or dislike something. But if something is horrible, I'm glad they brought back the thumbs down. In YouTube.
Yeah, because like when somebody, for example, I find it weird
Yeah.
when like if it's kind of a sad situation or like a negative post and then people are liking it. It's like, should you be liking it or should you just be comment? Like, I don't know. I'm just like is.
Oh, I know what you.
Do you know what I mean?
Right? Should you be more
Depends on the-
engaged with the actual content that you're watching, or
Like,
just like a double
like is
like a
like
double
the
tap is like the
like is kind of the wrong
Message
message
in
for
sense.
that post.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
I think it's
Try to
kind of.
explain
I
it.
think it's the concept of a like. Why are you liking something you don't like?
Right.
You know. So, but
Oh, it's like LOL, but you're not really
it's
laughing.
just interaction. I think it's more so a like is like shouldn't be the only kind
I
of
just think there should be
interaction.
more options than like. That's all.
Okay.
Like
So you
dislike and like or something.
Yeah.
else.
right. So you want more engagement,
Right?
something
And
a little
maybe
bit
that'll
more
happen one day.
interpersonal. I mean, they do have the live streams and all that type of stuff, but I don't know if you've ever been on a live stream. There's not really much interaction that's positive going on in a lot of these things. So I don't know what the real purpose is. But once again, I had a life before all of this, so I understand talking to people in person.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the biggest things that I feel happens as well is couples don't allow each other privacy.
That. Yeah.
As far as what?
Snooping through phones.
That's insecurity.
Right.
That's
but
also, so again, this is what we talked about earlier. So for
Right.
myself, I grew up in a family where we had no boundaries. We weren't allowed to, like my mom would go through all of my messages, all of my stuff. So that's all I know,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So for me, that's like my form of love kind of thing. It's like, that's all I know.
Right.
So through therapy and stuff like that, because I'm secure in myself in terms of a lot of different things. I'm introspective. Like there's just a lot of things I'm secure with. But when it comes to social media, that's always been like a weary thing for me, just because I guess just my experiences with it and just the way my family has brought it up. So not necessarily, maybe it is an insecurity within the relationship, but again, it's not necessarily insecurity within the person.
Right,
if that
right,
makes
right,
sense.
right.
Yeah.
This situation with the situation.
Exactly.
Like this brings the butterflies up.
Yeah.
I don't like the way this feels. I'm gonna go into. But
Yeah.
Like, everyone should have their right to their privacy.
Everyone should though. That
is there ever a
And it
right
should
time
be
to snoop on
healthy.
somebody's
It should
phone?
be-
Like
it
even if you
yeah.
get the triggers and all that type of stuff, do you have the right to
I don't
check
think there's
somebody
ever
else's
a right.
phone?
No, I don't think it's
No.
not healthy. Like the
It's
way
not healthy.
Yeah. the way I grew up wasn't healthy, you know?
Okay.
So it's not
See,
necessarily
yeah, I'm
healthy.
completely
but-
opposite than you because my mom gave me my parents gave me my privacy. I had my
Yeah.
privacy, and I love my privacy.
Right.
Yeah.
To this day, like, don't
I
go
was
through my
never-
phone. You know what I mean? Like, and I won't go through your phone.
I was never
Even if
offered that,
even if
so-
I felt like, you know, there was something going on and I didn't trust you, I still wouldn't go through your phone.
So you're not a.
No.
I want your password. I'm going to give
Hell
you my
no.
password.
Never.
Person.
Never.
Are you?
Again, I'm working on it. That is not like give me your password, but I think it was just this past relationship. Like she really did a number on me in terms
Right.
of like just trust, you know. And a lot of things happened prior to me going through her phone, and I feel like I needed to see something for me.
At that point, you're just looking for
I
stuff.
was like, I'm looking for something.
Yeah, at that point, you're
because
searching for
I
stuff.
need to
If you're in
go,
somebody's
you know? So it was just like, but also, again, it comes down to the boundaries, right? Like I said, I never had that. So as an adult, trying to build those again, because I'm only learning the stuff about myself now in my past.
Right.
That's where it's going. But if I were to enter a healthy relationship, going through each other's phones is a no. You know, for like my ideal relationship, I don't want to have to feel like I need to go through your phone in order to feel comfortable and secure in the relationship. That's just like my ideal.
I might be curious.
Oh yeah,
but I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Would you? Okay, so would you ask?
No. I
So you wouldn't even ask?
Nope.
You're a rare one. I'm like sitting next to
Rare.
like a gem over
wouldn't.
here. Damn.
So you would ask, is what you're saying, pretty much. Like
Ask to go through the phone?
like if you had like a suspicion of something, would you ask to go through the phone? Yeah.
Oh,
I
not
need
ask
see-
to go through the phone, but
Can
like
I need to see your phone.
I would
wanna
ask
see
for
something.
reassurance first. Like if I had an inkling about something,
Right.
it's kind of just like, so before earlier on in the relationship, I would just go through the phone. I remember like being in the car and I'm like, give me your damn phone.
Yeah,
I
that's
took
not
it.
good.
I was like, no,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not.
definitely not good.
So, but now, like towards the end of the relationship, I would just ask if I had any issues, you know, like
Right.
I stopped going through her stuff. I stopped doing any of that stuff because I was like, this isn't healthy. Like even the feeling of asking to go through your phone, you know, it's actually like really dehumanizing. Like I'm sitting here and I'm like, it's bad.
There's
It's
no
not
way to
healthy.
ask that and not sound like you're suspicious of something.
Yeah.
Like immediately
Yeah.
it's I'm suspicious of
I
something.
think eventually it would just show. Like, I don't know. It would just, over time, if you speculated on something, over time, it would definitely, like, you'd know. And then at that point, you know, if things don't change. And if you talk about it and then things don't change, then we shouldn't be together. Like, I don't know. I don't need to look at your phone.
Yeah.
I would be able to tell in a way. You know what I mean?
So for you, it seems like social media doesn't really have that much of an impact for you on, except for the certain things that you brought up.
Again,
of
because
course.
I guess I haven't really had to deal with that. And I'm very, at this point in my life, very guarded with my relationship. Like, I don't know, very picky, very like, I know what I want. I know what I don't want.
Right.
And I just don't think I'd allow myself to get to that point where it's a problem. I don't know.
Fair.
It's a security level, 100%.
That's absolutely,
Yeah.
It's a security level, 100%.
I was gonna say you seem very like just secure.
And
just
I don't
in
even
general.
want
crazy.
to the point
Yeah.
where I don't want to be in a relationship right now. Like again, I was in a long relationship. And then ever since then I just like, you know, I talk to guys, but
Yeah.
nothing serious, and I don't want that, to tell you the truth. It just I don't know. I'm at that point. I'm just trying to focus on other things. That's really my thing.
First thing that you probably understand is that, well, you have to understand this to be secure, is that there's no timeline. There's no timeline. I feel like a lot of people want to rush things, right? So that's a lot of the comparison things that go on
Yes.
on social media. Do you find that?
A timeline like
For me, I said earlier, I'll go on social media sometimes. I'll see people that are younger than me that have things that I want to attain.
okay.
And I'll say to myself, oh man, am I moving too slow? Like, am I behind in life? Like,
I mean, if they're like 10 years younger, and I don't know, but then again, social media is fake in a way too. You don't know that they're really doing those things. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, we just don't know sometimes. So.
I mean, it's easy for somebody who, like, you understand that, right? But
Yeah.
you also understand that majority of the people don't have
That's
the
what I'm
same
saying. I'm like, this is great.
thinking. Yeah, they don't have the same
they
thinking
just believe that,
you have.
Because the thing is, I've actually.
I know you have friends
the thing
that
is-
don't follow all the things that you're saying right now. Like they're
Yeah,
into
definitely.
social
The
media.
thing is, I've seen it like in person, like
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like,
Right. It's more of a common thing. That's what I'm trying to say. So these simple things that we're saying, that's like, for me, like I said, I'm more on your side. I don't really take a lot of the things that happen on social media very seriously.
No, right.
Right? Because I understand
Yeah.
that it's not reality. Like people
No.
are
Yeah.
only going to give you the
And-
highlights.
right.
And you know what? That's one of the biggest cliches out there that people say is social media is all about, and everybody knows it, but still everybody falls for the little traps that everybody sets and all these types of things.
And
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Listen, I'm all about, wanting to present your best face, you put your best foot forward and all that type of stuff. But I'm just speaking to the ladies out there. Everything that you have has a filter on it at this point.
Exactly.
And you
That's
can't,
exactly what I was going to say.
you can't tell me that you are comfortable with everything that you have and everything that you're doing when you have to post everything with a filter.
And on top of that, just to add to that, like I know girls, I've seen them personally. They do not look like what they look like on social
is an
media,
even
and it's
bigger issue.
crazy. And
Which
that's
is an even bigger
another reason
issue.
why I don't take it too seriously, because I'm like, and they have lots of followers, and I'm just like, you don't even know. You know what I mean?
It's crazy out here.
Right?
People have to understand that social media is not really that serious. And what I would recommend for a lot of people is what I said earlier, that social media detox.
Yeah.
If for nothing, just to see if you can stop using social media for a little bit, just to test yourself out and go out there and try to see if this. Let me tell you why this is eye-opening, because I actually did this, right? I do this every now and then, and I do it for like a month at a time. What I learn when I'm off social media is, one, who are my friends? Because once you're off social media, you'll lose contact with a bunch of people, a whole bunch, because either they don't have your phone number or they just don't talk to you like that. Like you guys don't have anything really to talk about. You learn about that. Also, you learn how to live with time. You learn how to live without distraction, which makes you do other things. It forced me, in the time that I was off, I wrote like a script for an episode of my life story that I want to
Really?
do. Yeah,
I need to
it's
read
probably
that.
horrible.
I need
It's
to
horrible.
read it.
It's probably horrible. But I got 30 pages out. I got 30 pages out. Written, wrote that down, writing music, a whole bunch of other things, started clothing designs. And
Okay.
I didn't realize how many things I was not
You have
doing.
so much time. So much time.
I didn't
too.
realize how many things I was not doing because I was on social media so much and on YouTube and video games.
Right.
Listen, WWE 2K22 just came out. I'm about to be on that tonight. No! But anyways, other than that, I realized that being away from it. So like, I would recommend people doing that just to realize, get into Raquel's space here. Get into the headspace where
Talk to
it's
me.
not that big of a deal. See if you
real.
can survive without it for a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship and anything happens, delete the social media for about a week or 2 weeks. If the problems disappear, I'm gonna say you're welcome because I just helped you realize what the problem was. And Dr. Tracy, I don't know. I'm out here trying to help the world. But go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm old school. I always feel like the right person, you will meet them in person, right? Like you're gonna bump into them somehow, some way, through a friend or whatever. But it's not gonna be through social media. It's not gonna really be at a club, not necessarily. It'll just like kind of happen. And I don't know if that's like an
So
old,
no dating
old way
apps
of
for you,
thinking.
No dating apps?
No,
No?
I mean, no.
Nobody's gonna find an old profile of you on Plenty of Fish?
Stop.
I mean, you never know. But I'm just saying, not active at all. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of a waste of time, to tell you the truth.
Have you ever found anybody on a dating app? Have you ever done that?
I met my girlfriend through TikTok.
Through TikTok?
Yeah.
See? Okay.
Like, did you
Okay.
see her post or something?
Yeah, I did.
And then
I
you
saw
pursued her?
and I followed her on Instagram, and then we just went from there.
Oh, okay.
So I think it is very different nowadays, though, because as much as we might hate technology and like social media, it's become ingrained in our society.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think because of social media, there is actually less of a pool now because everyone has access. So it's kind of like, I honestly would not ever date in Toronto anymore. I'm going across the I'm going
Where are you
worldwide.
Going? Where are you going? Worldwide?
Maybe like
It's just
Spain.
like, where
Let's go.
are we going? Where are we
Let's go to
going?
Europe, honestly.
Where are we going? I'm
Let's go.
curious as to find these guys. Yeah.
True.
So yeah, and I think I guess just speaking from someone who because I grew up half and half, right? Like I was without social media for half of it, and then majority of the half I was in social media.
Right.
So yeah, I've used apps and stuff like that just because like going out and everything like that. I would even go to like libraries because I like reading.
It makes
Still
sense.
wouldn't even meet anyone. So it was just, and I'm not
I don't know
looking
about the library,
for it.
but I mean, hey, it can happen.
Dating apps make sense to me because there are a lot of people who don't have a lot of free time. And dating apps allow you the time to message. I can message when I'm free. You know, you got to wait, whatever. So I understand the situation and those type of things. But
I just find there's so many guys that's looking for one thing that are on there.
There's that aspect.
You know, and if that's what you're for, then
there's that aspect of it, and then there's the whole other aspect of just human interaction, one-on-one, face-to-face, a tone.
Different.
You know what I mean? What you're trying to get across, the amount of miscommunications, and then you have people like me, super sarcastic all the time.
The dry humor.
Oh my gosh, the dry humor.
That's hard to text that.
Anybody who knows me knows I got the dry humor on lock. I cannot. I don't. See, I don't. I cannot.
You can't.
I cannot.
It's not
That's
possible.
why you're not going to find me on no dating apps because I absolutely suck at those things. I don't know what to say.
I find it's an issue too because I have humor too, and I'm just like, it's not coming across the right way. They're not getting me.
It's not my thing, and I don't know, but I don't know where there is to go nowadays.
That's fair.
To find people.
Where do you go?
That's right. Like where do I go? Where do I go to find people
in
to
Toronto?
Talk to
in Toronto,
in Toronto. That's not a club. That's not a bar all the time.
This is what I'm telling you. You just run into them. That I can
interact with people and
organically.
These places don't exist. So see, if you create a culture where there is no alternative, naturally, we're just going to fall deeper and deeper and deeper into it to the point where we're just going to be robots when we're in the room with each other. Instead of talking, we're just going to be texting each other beside each other and, you know, streaming to the TV and all that type of thing.
Generation's a scary thing.
And turning on the lights. I'm not even going to be moving. I'm turning on lights and cooking food.
Maybe not us, but the newer generation. I don't know.
Oh, well, listen, if somebody wants to give me the technology to be able to do all that, I'm lazy. I'm lazy as fuck. So give me the technology. I'll take it.
Really?
I would like to turn on everything in my house.
You turn into a robot?
From my couch. Yeah, just scream.
You'll just turn into a robot?
Yeah. Listen, and I sit here like, don't become a robot. And I say, listen, do all the robotic things as well.
I think that's where we're going, though.
But if that's where it's going, I still, luckily for me, I still know how to interact one-on-one in person. I still can be cordial. You know what I'm saying? So there have been instances where I've noticed now that I'm a little bit more awkward than I used to be because I'm not in those situations as often. Or if I am, it's more of a social media thing. Yeah. So I have noticed that, but I'm working on myself. You know?
You're doing good.
Yeah. You're doing great.
I'm doing all the things that we got to do.
That's really all you got to do. You just got to keep learning, figuring it out.
So I just want to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, for both of you, how important is it to control the rules or have some sets of rules when it comes to social media in relationships? Like, how important is that?
I just feel like once rules, like to me, again, it's just like if I have to start like telling you no, am I your mom? Like we should really just naturally just if I voice something to you and you continue to do it, I shouldn't have to be like, stop it. You know, tap your hand or something. Like, no, I'm telling you how I feel. And if you really don't respect me in that sense, or we can just have a conversation about it. And like, maybe I do need to back off a little bit, you know? So it just really, I think that's what it comes down to. I don't think I should, again, it was very unhealthy for me to be going through the phones and being like, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. But like, here we are and we're growing.
You're not alone. You're not alone. I saw a survey that said like 34% of couples admit that they've snooped through each other's phone. And there's crazy numbers out there. 50% of people believe that, these are studies that I took. 50% of people believe that social media does ruin relationships, but they're still on them. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
and I really honestly don't think it's social media itself. I think it's respect for your partner. So it's kind of just like, social media is great for so many things, actually.
That's a good point.
But I think it's just like, if your partner's not receptive to taking care of how you feel,
it's a problem.
Not social media.
That's a good point. That's a good point too. So listen, RESPECT.
That's what I'm talking about. See? That's what it is for me.
Sometimes you just say things and just know things are gonna happen. That was that one.
I was like, what is it again?
that was that one. So for all the guys watching, just know that when it comes to this game of social media and whatever it is, I don't care what it is that you're doing, what lifestyle it is that you're doing. It's very clear that as long as you're showing respect, and you know what's disrespectful, because you're just going to say, if my girl did this, I would be disrespected, you know, and don't make it up in your mind. Don't do that. I know guys that like to do that. Wouldn't bother me if you did this.
No,
and then
oh
you
my
do
God,
it.
the amount of times I've heard
And
that,
then
I'm
you
like,
do it,
okay.
and then you do it, and then it's a rapsicle. It's like, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? Just establish the rules. And if they don't like it, if it's something serious, don't adjust. If it is, compromise. It's very simple. Let's not make things difficult, guys. Okay? Fake lives on social media. Don't make it a real life situation, all right? I want to thank you guys for coming out. This was a good
You're very, very,
conversation.
very welcome.
I want to thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and definitely drop a comment. And as always, if you have any topics of your own that you could think of, leave those in the comments as well, because I'm looking for more, always. All right.
All
Yay! Thanks, guys.
Hey. How long was that?
Stretch your legs.